Listen up. Every man wants discipline and strength. Transformation begins with one ruthless truth. You are responsible for everything in your life, even what wasn't your fault. Accept it. Own it all. That ownership makes you calm, dangerous, unstoppable. Welcome back, gentlemen. This matters. Responsibility is the foundation of masculine transformation. At Rim High, we keep this truth front and center so you live it daily. Every man wants strength, inner fortitude that withstands pressure and thrives. Real strength begins with ownership. Every man wants respect, not the cheap kind from status or possessions, but the deep respect earned by character and by keeping your word. Every man wants a life he can be proud of, solid, meaningful, and true when viewed from his final days. Yet most men never arrive. They drift for years with a constant low hum of dissatisfaction. They live and die in quiet desperation, haunted by the ghost of the man they could have become, wondering what went wrong. They miss one truth, a single foundational principle that underpins all masculine growth. That truth is simple. It requires no advanced degree and no secret knowledge. It is brutal. It will strip away your excuses and leave you naked before the facts of your life. It is the dividing line between the boy who wishes and the man who builds. The truth is this: you are responsible for everything in your life. Everything. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Yes, even the parts that were not your fault. The trauma you didn't ask for, the betrayal you didn't deserve, the downturn you didn't cause. You are not at fault for the event, but you are 100% responsible for your response. This isn't about blame. Blame is a child's game, a way to deflect and feel righteous in your misery. This is about power, the raw, untamed power to shape your reality. Blame is for victims. It keeps you chained to the past, forever pointing a finger. Responsibility is for warriors. It is the key that unlocks the cage. When you blame the world, your parents, your boss, or your past, you give them control. Psychologists call this an external locus of control. You tell yourself your life is in their hands, not yours. A leaf in the wind pushed and pulled by forces beyond your influence. You become a puppet. Your strings are pulled by forces you cannot command. The moment you say, "This is my fault," or better, "This is my responsibility," you take the strings back. You develop an internal locus of control. You might not have caused the storm, but you are the captain of your ship. You are responsible for navigating it, checking the maps, trimming the sails, commanding your crew, keeping the hull from breaking apart. This is the hardest pill to swallow. It burns on the way down because it means there are no more excuses. Your mind will fight it. Your ego, comfortable inside a fortress of justifications, will rebel. It will scream that it's not fair. It will list reasons you're a victim, presenting a compelling case for your own helplessness. Your job is to shut that voice down, acknowledge it, and then dismiss it. Tell it to get in the back seat. You're driving now. Fairness is not part of the equation. Life isn't fair. It never was. The universe is indifferent to your feelings. Power is. The world doesn't care about excuses or stories. It responds to what you do. Only your actions move reality, and your actions change the moment you accept that you alone direct the outcome. This isn't punishment. At first it feels heavy, like a weight on your chest, but it's freedom. You realize the cell door was open, and the key was always in your hand. So pay attention. The life you live today flows from your choices, from your standards, and from what you've tolerated in your and from others. It's all shaped by action. If you're overweight, that's on you. Not genetics or a busy schedule, your choices. If you're broke, that's on you. Habits, decisions, and the risks you do or don't take. If you're unhappy, that's on you. Your mindset and your refusal to change what you can. A hard childhood doesn't change that truth. Being wronged doesn't change it either. That was then. That was their choice. What matters is this. What will you do now? That's the only question that counts. This is the starting line. The true 0 point. Everything you learn about discipline and mindset and strength begins here, with one non-negotiable decision. Take responsibility and understand what that really means. A man can master routines and training and still remain a boy. He can wake before dawn, run 10 miles in freezing rain, eat clean, lift heavy, and grind 12 hours a day, building a hard, polished shell. But if he still sees himself as a victim, he's hollow. That discipline becomes a distraction, a refined way to avoid the real work. It's running from the core task, owning his own soul. Discipline without ownership is performance. You're acting like a strong man instead of becoming one. You check boxes and go through motions. You do hard things with resentment. Notice the inner dialogue. First, I have to do this because my life is hard, versus I choose this because I control my life. The first mindset is a slave, even in a palace. The second is a king, even in a shack. Same actions, different identity. I see it everywhere. Disciplined victims. They're fit, they're successful, and they're miserable. Brittle and angry. The smallest setback breaks their composure. Complaining becomes their native language. They blame their wife, their employees, and the government. Yes, systems soften men. Schooling, society, and endless distractions. But once you see the trap, complaining ends. Awareness makes you responsible. That's when a man stops blaming and starts rebuilding. Their discipline made strong bodies. Their victim mindset kept weak spirits. Warriors in the gym, cowards in their own mind. Real change begins when the finger-pointing stops and the mirror work begins. You can't outrun a weak identity. You build a stronger one on bedrock. Discipline is the tool. Ownership is the hand that wields it. Without ownership, discipline is just motion. A hamster wheel, faster but going nowhere. It burns energy without building substance. Burnout instead of breakthrough. Ownership gives discipline, purpose. It turns repeated actions into identity. With responsibility, discipline stops punishing your past and starts building your future. It becomes a conscious choice, not a reaction to pain. History is full of men who lived this way. They weren't born great or lucky. They were forged by personal responsibility. Consider Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor. He faced plague, relentless war, and betrayal by trusted allies. He could have complained, with more reason than most. He could have blamed the gods, his generals, his enemies. Instead, he wrote privately, for himself, not for praise. He reminded himself to own his perceptions. He reminded him to own his actions. He reminded himself to own his will. He focused on the controllable, his character. He accepted responsibility for more than an empire, but for his own soul, the mark of a king. Now, think of Theodore Roosevelt. Sickly and asthmatic as a boy, confined indoors, his future looked small. His father said, "You have the mind, but not the body. Make your body." Roosevelt could have surrendered to fate. Instead, he took his father's words as a call to responsibility. He waged war on weakness, building a home gym, boxing, lifting, hiking. He pushed himself from ownership, not self-hate. That decision reshaped his life. Rough Rider, explorer, and the President of the United States. His entire life was a testament from taking responsibility for his body. How do you start? With a ruthless audit. Tonight, take paper and draw a line. On the left, list everything you're unhappy with. Weight, income, relationship, job, friends. Be honest. On the right, write how you are responsible for each item. Not blame, responsibility. This isn't to shame you. It reveals where your power is. Each line a lever, a map to freedom. Stop waiting for rescue or fairness. The cavalry isn't coming. You are the cavalry. Choose one item. Own it completely starting now. That first step begins the path to the man you were meant to be, the path of the warrior, the path of the king.